6 o'clock, call a meeting to order of the regular monthly meeting of the Raynham Sewer Commission. Our agenda calls for approval of minutes for the last meeting of May 9th. I need a motion to accept.
So moved. Second?
Any questions? Did you notice anything that might need to be changed now that it's on the table for
No,
discussion?
Just to my recollection.
There being none, then all in favor?
Aye.
It is a vote, 3-0. Accept the minutes as printed. Correspondence, Mr. Superintendent.
We did have a late correspondence. This is related to 4 Fair Acres Ave. You may remember in previous commission meetings, I believe probably back around January, February, an issue was brought up where the sewer main was placed out of the actual right-of-way. It's a private road. It was placed out of the right-of-way. I'll read the letter that was sent to me from 4 Fair Acres.
Would you can read it into it, would you also submit a complete copy for actual typing into the minutes?
Sure. Yep. Okay, this is addressed to the Board of Sewer Commissioners, and it reads, Gentlemen, I am writing this letter on behalf of the trustees of the JDC Revocable Trust. The trust owns the property located at 4 Fair Acres Avenue. Nashley Ketchum, owner of the property at 7 Fair Acres Avenue, has decided to sell her property. In order for the sale of 7 Fair Acres Ave to be completed, the property was surveyed, and it was determined that there appeared to be some irregularity with the property boundary. The irregularity is related to the legal right-of-way. The sewer line placement did not occur in the legal right-of-way, but rather on the property of 4 Fair Acres Ave. We understand the complexity of this issue and the potential impact to the town if changes to the sewer line were to be considered. In speaking with Mr. Carey, it was advised that the monthly meeting of this commission be attended, which my wife and I did in February. During the meeting, it was agreed upon to grant the sewer easement, to the town of Raynham. Subsequently, we hired an attorney to facilitate our interest in making sure all steps were done legally to protect our property interests for the future. We would like to know if the commission would have any monies available to help us with the attorney's fees we are incurring as a result of granting and facilitating the easement and recording of the easement by the attorney. Any input or help you could give us would greatly appreciate. Sincerely, Michael Flanagan.
Could you tell me what's the date of this letter?
He did not date it, but it was dropped off on Wednesday.
So I'm gonna put a date on it of 6/12,
Yep.
19, and make sure that you record that date when you give her the letter so they can reference the letter. Okay, this is an ongoing situation, and I believe I can speak for the board that we've discussed this in the past, and that excuse me, we are of one mind that we should do something to help Mr. Flanagan because of the fact that the sewer line inadvertently went across his property instead of the right-of-way. And physically looking at the right-of-way as it's been done in the past, we have found that there's a tree there, and for some strange reason they didn't think the tree should be removed at the time, and they went down a dirt path which was used as his driveway, and mistake was made. We will do everything within our power to do our best to help Mr. Flanagan with this matter, and we will continue to work on it. And you can, as far as I'm concerned, you can reiterate that to him and say the board is more than willing to help as best we can.
Mm-hmm. Very good.
Any other comment, Joe?
No.
Is that satisfactory?
I think so, and we'll have a conversation with.
Okay.
Seems like he has all the reasonability in the world according to the letter.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay, you can handle that?
Yes.
Thank you. Next item, any other correspondence?
No other correspondence.
All right, this is superintendent's report.
So updating phase 7 contract 1, the contractor has finished up with the sewer main and service laterals in the Park Place and Gatsby Drive area. Pipe testing, vacuum testing, and mandrel testing remains in those areas, as well as building of manhole inlets. Mandrel testing on High Ridge Drive still remains, needs to be done. Completed, as well as a few manhole inverts. CJP plans on doing that work next week. Pump station work has yet to begin at Park Place. They plan on installing the wet well the week of the 24th. We wait the easement documents for that area, which are now in the hands of the attorney for Cranberry Ridge Condominium Associates. As mentioned in our previous meeting, the Mass DOT access permit for Route 138 had been received. Also mentioned was the probability of a change order for Route 138 due to Mass DOT requirements. That change order request is in the amount of $135,400. In your packet is that change order request proposal for discussion and approval. There is also a change order request expected for the Gatsby and Park Place areas in relation to mismarked or even unmarked water service that were encountered in those particular areas. These water services caused extra work and delays for the contractor, so he'll be looking for compensation. Next project meeting on contract 1 and contract 2 actually will be on June 26th. Phase 7 contract 2 update. The contractor started with phase 2, contract 2, started over on Fair Lane. He's actually finished the mainline work and the laterals. They have now moved over to Brook Street, where aside from the one gravity sewer service, the remainder of the street is low pressure sewer service. For information, there are 25 properties within the phase 1 and phase 2 projects that are going to require low pressure pumps. And just for note, on the phase 2 project, the sewer department had made contribution, or made concessions to give a contribution to those residents that are required low pressure pumps. I'm not sure if you may want to consider doing that on the phase 7 project also. Paramount Drive pumping station. The Gorman pump skid arrived and was placed in the building, as well as the control panel. The plumbing subcontractor has now been on site installing required plumbing. We have obtained the change order amount for the new larger generator. This new larger generator will allow us to run 2 pumps simultaneously when required, whereas the present generator will allow only 1 pump to operate. This is not an ideal situation to be in. The article amount for the generator upgrade was $160,000. The change order proposal came in at $164,423.55. The remaining $4,423.55 I would recommend we absorb in our operating budget to complete this project, and to also give us the comfort of knowing that 2 pumps will run when needed. The guys from the sewer department, with the help from the Center Water District with excavating, reinstalled the previously removed telephone conduits, reinstalled them back to the new building. Verizon will be pulling the new phone line when we request them to do so. That line was actually moved because it wasn't marked, and when they initially started that job, they hit the phone line, and not knowing what it was, or the phone line conduit, which is not knowing what it was, broke it, and so we made other provisions and put a wireless dial in there temporarily, and so in the meantime, we're gonna be putting a regular phone line back in there. Taunton River Bank stabilization and sewer repair. Soil samples were taken and 2 groundwater monitoring wells have been installed for survey and analysis of soil condition in the areas of concern for this project. So you know what that's about, Jeff. We have a sewer main along the Taunton River behind Friendly's area over there, and that banking is slowly, slowly sinking. It's actually been repaired once since I've been here, but twice that I know of. So the Time Bond is looking into a permanent solution for us.
That section is this title, so it's moving back and
Mhm.
forth, and there's a number of ways of fixing it. They ought to decide which one and let us do it.
1550 New State Highway, which we know as Honey Bay Cams. The owner appeared at the office on Wednesday to make his initial payment for sewer bank based on a letter addressed to his lawyer dated January 3rd, 2019, with the board's offer of allowing him to set up a payment plan. In your packet is that agreement for review and signature. Wet well cleaning. The sewer department has been cleaning pump station wet wells this past week. This is done primarily once a year for most pump stations. We do have 7 or 8 that actually have to get done a couple times a year. And Route 44 is actually monthly. We clean that well monthly. This typically takes 4 days to accomplish. This involves hiring a vacuum truck to suck out the grease, sludge, and rags, at which time the float and bubble control systems are inspected and repairs are made if needed. And when they do pump that down, actually pressure wash everything in there also. Union negotiations.
You skipped the Doe Run.
Doe Run, back to Doe Run. I spoke with one of the project owners on Tuesday to find out the status of this project. They explained that we had expected his line on Pine Street to be in by now. He told me that they were planning on doing it, but didn't give me a time frame. I explained to him that the town has plans on possibly doing Courtney Way as a Phase 7 change order, but his line needs to be in first. I had actually also heard back from the engineer working on this project today, and he tells me he will have the plans back to us, the corrections to the plans back to us by the end of next week, and I'll have to forward them back to Time Bond. There was minor changes that needed to be made in it, so it shouldn't take much time for Time Bond to turn them around. Union negotiations. Town Administrator Gordon Luciano, Selectwoman Pat Riley, the town's lawyer, labor lawyer, Joe Emerson, and myself. We met with the sewer employees union for contractual negotiations. An agreement was finalized and approved by the Board of Selectmen on this past Tuesday evening. Sewer service connections, we had 6 new permits pulled from May 1st until now, making a total of 42 permits pulled since January. And that is it.
Nice job,
Any questions?
I do, I got one in regards to Phase 7 Contract 1.
Yep.
With Gatsby and Park Place areas.
Yes.
With the mismarked or even unmarked water services.
Yep.
That weren't counted.
Mm-hmm.
Whose responsibility is that to mark those? I'm assuming the water department?
That is actually the Taunton Water Department over there. Their water is provided to them by Taunton.
Okay.
And problem being is nobody has anything of good records. So, not only the Taunton Water Department have a hard time marking their stuff, but there was buried electric lines that weren't marked, and we ended up hiring through Time Bond a marking company that came out and detected most of the electrical lines,
Okay.
but they couldn't pick up water lines. So
And that's TMLP.
the electric, no, it's all private in there. Yeah.
It's private
Yeah,
electric?
Yeah.
Well,
No, isn't it handled by Team LP?
yeah.
Not as it comes down on the poles over to the buildings. That's Team LP won't handle to the poles.
In the construction phase, the power to the buildings where they get a bill from Team LP?
Yes.
That answers his question. But the problem was, in the installation, it was a private subdivision created.
Okay.
And they put pipes in the ground, didn't mark where it was, and in a couple of occasions, especially on Gadsby, the water pipe went up, bent, and went back again, so it wasn't a straight line. And I recall they had to dig 2 test pits to make sure where the water line was going, because with the sewer, it's gotta be a straight line, because they use the laser. Well, all that underground stuff on both Park Place and there were done by the developer, but a good record wasn't in there. The problem didn't happen as much in Park Place
Correct.
as it did in Gatsby. And I said to Rob, come up with a number and send the bill to the city of Taunton Water Department and tell them, we get charged X amount of dollars and we need a contribution, it's a sizable contribution from you for this extra because you didn't mark the lines when you put them in and they weren't detectable, nothing was there, and every time we broke it, added time to our stuff and had to do repairing.
So this ball's already in motion.
Well, the suggestion was made,
Okay.
and the comment that was returned, do you think they'll pay it? I said, I don't care whether they pay it or not. You send them a bill.
Yeah.
We have to pay it.
Yeah.
If we get it, that's fine. If there's anything down the road sometime, hey, do you remember in 2019 this happened? And you said, guess what? For you. Okay?
Very good.
So you build the case in the paper trail.
Very good. Good.
See, if we ran this as a private situation, it would be so much easier, Jim. I assure you.
You know where I'm going with this.
Okay. Any other question?
No,
Like-
one of the union negotiations, if you're done, Joe.
I was just gonna make a comment. I'm like a gravity sewer line. Push it down.
Yeah,
Go ahead, Jeff.
Contract's been finalized and approved, but you haven't ratified it. Your union body hasn't ratified it.
yes, no, all set,
Okay.
yep, everything's all set.
Oh.
There's only 6 members in
Yeah.
there.
Yeah,
Two
all signed.
negotiate,
All signed and agreed upon, good.
right? Two negotiate, and there were 6 members. So a third of their voting body comes in and says yes. Well,
That's effective July 1.
July 1, okay.
As far as the additional $4,400 with the generator,
Yep.
any shot we can go back to Ty and Bond and say we can do it for 2,200. We approve 2,200. Save a couple of bucks.
They actually helped us out a lot on this, where that initial change order quote from the contractor, they actually came in at $177,000.
Okay, good enough.
And they actually dwindled them down twice. They got them, initially it got down to 167, and then, Time Bond did a great job actually at working on the contractor and getting them to sharpen that pencil quite a bit, so.
Fair enough. Good job, Ty and Bond.
Yeah.
Well,
Can't ask for much more than
There's,
that.
there's always this other question, and I'm not proposing to interject into it, is to make a final call to them and tell them, if we give you a check for $160,000 now, will you ship it?
Ship the generator. Probably just gotta get put in.
Well, it's, I can only give you examples that I have had in real life experiences with equipment, HVAC equipment, electrical panels, furnaces. Beep, 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 because it's coming through someplace else. And I'd get into it, and I would say, well, look, you give him a discount? Yeah. I don't get a discount from him. What's the bill? $287,000. If I send you $280 by wire today, you ship that to me? Well, you're gonna arrange a transfer. That's not what I asked. Yes, we will. Give me your bank, give me your routing number and everything. And sometimes, because let's face it, the generator is going to come. When?
It's actually, gonna be 18 weeks out.
18 weeks
Yes,
away.
Yes. So,
If you had a comfortable, warm, fuzzy feeling with them, you could call them and say, look, if we prepay you now, and you promise to guarantee that you're going to deliver that on schedule, if I write you a check for $160, would you take it as full payment? Ty and Bond's not gonna do that, because Ty and Bond can't write our check, but you can.
right, but that 160 isn't just for the generator, that includes all the work involved, louvers involved,
No, I understand, I understand. Is that installed?
that's installed,
Wait,
yes.
the 4,000 we'll find
Yeah. That is
And they
installed,
are-
that's
yeah.
complete,
Okay.
tested, 4 hour load bank test, that's totally installed.
Soup to nuts.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay,
The generator itself, cost of that I'd be guessing, but probably the generator itself, you're probably looking at, $40,000-$50,000 for the generator.
and $110,000 to
Yeah,
all
for
the other
for
parts.
labor and the louvers and,
Yeah.
that's,
Rigging.
And we don't pay
Going in
them,
there easy.
yeah, and we don't pay them until it's operational.
correct, yeah. And they get
That's
paid on
fine.
stages, once the generator arrives, they get chunked,
Yeah, they get the 40,000 for the generator.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay, that's fine.
Fair enough. Nice
Very
job,
nice.
Ty and Bond.
Send a note up to Dan Holmes that we really appreciate their effort.
I will do that.
Yes. Anything else with the superintendent's report?
Nothing.
Great job, Rob.
Very good. Any new business?
No new business.
No new business. Okay, we're down to old business.
Yeah.
Review and approve Paramount Pump Station Generator change order. That's the one we were just discussing.
Just did.
So I don't know if you wanna look it over, but this is it.
Wait a minute.
Oh, sorry, no, that's phase 7.
Yeah.
Yep.
CJP is doing that.
Hang on to that, 'cause that's coming up next.
Now, these are all copies.
Yes.
You've gotta have an original
Right.
signed.
Yes. That's the breakdown. Well, they come over on the computer, so I print them out, so.
Yeah, that's fine. And all you're looking for is the authorization to
Yeah.
go ahead and sign it. Bill Irwin, engineer. Is that Joe's brother? Bill Irwin?
No, I don't think he's a brother. Bill's the one that comes to the project meetings. I think you've seen Bill out there.
I think Bill is out in the field quite a
Yes,
bit.
yeah. Yes, Bill is out on the field, right?
Yeah, that's not Joe's brother.
I don't think he's a brother, no.
Cause I thought Joe said he had two brothers in the business,
Yeah.
one in the office, another one,
Well, Bill was in the office a lot, yeah.
okay. So this is the 164.
Yes.
Well, it comes down to the fact that if it doesn't work, they don't get paid. That's a simple thing, so that's really,
And you'll see all the breakdown on
Yeah.
the different costs, yeah.
pass it down, labor, equipment. Oh, that's just the equipment to handle it.
Yeah, they charge you for all that stuff, being on site.
Construction, masonry. Mhm. The Watermark Electric is the electrical contractor?
Yes. They actually were the contractor that did the phase 5, contract 5 and 6 rather, of phase 6, River Street work.
Big portion of that is electric, huh?
Oh, yeah, yeah, definitely, yeah. Well, they're handling the cost of the generator also.
Yeah, that's in the
Yeah,
84.
which you gotta move some mechanical, electrical, correct?
Yep.
Yeah, okay. Well, I don't think there's, this is just an ongoing process that we've been working on and finally getting to the end of it. So, I will ask for a motion to approve the change order of $164,423.55 for the generator upgrade at the Paramount Pump Station.
I'll put that in the form of a motion.
I'll second that.
Are there any discussions, questions?
Yeah,
Being
we
none?
Took a little field trip with the superintendent today, and we stood before that, and it was the first thing I noticed how antiquated that was, before I even knew it was on tonight's agenda.
Okay.
The building looks great
Mm.
and up to speed, but that thing is clearly
Yeah, it's
outdated.
old.
Yeah,
Very old
clearly,
generator.
And you could see how much was gonna go into it just to get it in there.
Where's the old generator going? You bring it back, you said you might bring it back here?
Possibly, it's big enough that it might be able to power this building if we had it, or we might put it on a trailer and use it as a backup unit for, if we can trailer it around and bring it to other stations. Possibly do something like that with it.
we try to recycle. Not the product,
Yeah.
but the
Yeah,
service.
hey, I did, you know, we can sell it, up to money, do something, but if we're gonna use it, that's great.
Yeah. All right, all those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. It is a vote. Now, you have a Phase 7 contract here. The brief explanation, which is relatively as best you can do, is the permit that the state had to give us to install the sewer 138 came with a whole number of specifications that were over and above our regular contract. And the contractor, rightfully so, was concerned that he couldn't do it for the number that was there. And the bulk of it is the extra paving. The explanation, I'm sure, can come better from the superintendent, but basically, if you dig 25 feet of ground, you must backfill, compact, and pave that 25 feet every day.
3 inches every day, right?
And then you gotta pull the 3 and put 11 in.
I thought it was 10.
10 inches.
10?
Yeah, 10.
Okay. So that's extra work, and it breaks down the continuity. You can't put a plate over the next 25 feet of trench and leave it open. So we knew it was coming, and it's reasonable enough, and we do have an adequate amount of funds in our debt authorization to handle it. So I will entertain a motion to accept the change order and authorize the superintendent to enter into the agreement for $135,400 to contract number 1 of Phase 7.
So moved.
I'll second.
Any further discussion, question? Being none, all those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. It's a 3-0 vote. It's authorized. Does he have an idea when he might wanna try to start that? Would that be after Brook?
No, I think after Brook, they're going back over to Park Place and trying to get the station going.
Well,
Maybe
yeah,
it's at the
well,
one-
the thing with going over the Park Place with the station, it's they install the wet well.
Yes,
And then their sub is gonna come in and do the pump station.
right,
So
yes.
after the wet well,
Yeah.
are they thinking then going to Broadway?
I don't believe so. I think they're gonna do some of the other, phase contract 2. You mentioned Cedar Mill was one of them, Rose Terrace.
Well, you got Rose Terrace, and you got Cedar River, you got Juniper Hill, you still got Mill Street.
Mm.
That's okay.
Yep.
That's fine. Any emergency business?
No emergency business.
Any commission reports?
I have none.
As I said, I spent a little bit of time with the superintendent today, thank you very much. Helped me
Yeah.
get my hands around some of the operation and some of the terminology. A couple were mentioned tonight.
Did-
We spent a little time on Phase 7, Contract 2 there, got to see a little bit of that. Got to see the advancements at the Paramount Pumping Station, as well as some of the wet well cleaning and things like that. So getting myself up to speed just a dash.
I don't want you to bring your fire boots, but you ought to get some Wellingtons, because he's gonna take you down into a wet well
Yeah.
next.
I've been on 44. Oh, and actually, like what we saw today.
Oh, Route 44, yeah,
Yeah.
you can
Yeah.
walk, you can actually go down the stairway.
Yeah, I've
into
poked
the-
my head in there before as well, but, so that was good, like you said, get up to speed just a little bit, see a little bit what we're talking about, and, just one observation, our stuff's immaculate, that's pretty obvious right off the bat, any place you step into, with the exception of that antiquated generator.
Right, yeah.
And that pumping station did look quite different than the last time I was down there, I think you remember that
Yep,
day,
yep,
so that was a little different
Yep.
day for both of us.
right, yeah.
so that's
Well,
good.
you're talking about Paramount.
Paramount, yeah,
Yeah.
it's got the new addition on it now.
In the old days, it wasn't.
Right,
Yeah.
It's one of those things that, I won't say I was determined to have, but when I did my walkthrough and went down that culvert hole with the ship ladder, I said, how the hell do you get out of here in
Yeah.
case of emergency? You don't.
You phone a friend.
Yeah.
I said, well, we're gonna move this operation up to the ground. And it took us a few years to get squared away and get the money put aside for it.
Yeah. We had a landline actually down there because you didn't get no cell service
Yeah,
down there.
forget it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So we had a landline down there too, but.
And that didn't work half the time when you wanted to hide. You see the truck and everything was closed and you'd say, well, maybe he's next door someplace. You would go over to the freezer to see if they got any samples
Sure.
or shrimp or something. No, they're down in the hole there. Nothing.
Oh, I was impressed.
Yeah.
That's
Thank
good.
you. But, another rainy day, we'll do some more.
Sounds good. Yeah.
I'll come along as well.
Yeah.
I gotta do that.
That's like a field trip, you know?
Be careful where he takes you to lunch. Okay, let's see. Any public forum?
See none.
None. Yeah, okay. Any press time? There's none. We might have to wake up the cable man so we can close it. If there be no other matter, we will take an adjournment for the performance of administrative duties and nothing else. I will take a motion to adjourn.
Make a motion, we adjourn.
I second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. At 6:32, we have adjourned. Thank you very much.